After finishing the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen, which I have to say is probably the best shonen that has come out since Hunter x Hunter and AOT, my spidey senses started to tingle, and there was something severely off about a certain character. This character is actually quite a fan favorite, and is just a likable character in general, but most people don't really see past his dazzling silver hair, well built and drool inducing body, not to mention his eyes. Ugh, his eyes make me want to go gay. But back to the theory though, if you look past all those things, you'll find that there's more than meets the eye with this character. I'm gonna explain how Satoru Gojo will soon be revealed as an antagonist, and maybe the hardest opponent Yuji Itadori will ever have to face. Let's start with a bit of background about Gojo, just in case you forgot. Gojo is a special grade Jujutsu sorcerer and a teacher at the Tokyo Metropolitan Curse Technical College. It is mentioned throughout the show and even early on about Gojo's strength and how he's considered one of, or if not the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer. Despite his playful and nonchalant personality that he possesses when he talks with his students and friends, he is shown to be extremely rude and discourteous towards certain people, those being his enemies, which consist of curses, but also for reasons unknown to the audience. He holds a strange disgust towards the sorcerer elders, and a specific dislike towards the principal of Kyoto Jujutsu High. It makes sense to hate your enemies and show disdain towards them, but it's very weird seeing Gojo just straight up dissing the old man principal to his face, without caring about the repercussions of his action. I mean, not that there are any, because there is nobody that we've seen that can rival Gojo in strength, keep him in check. But more than that, there is a minuscule amount of Jujutsu sorcerers already, and even less than that are the sorcerers that can handle special grade curses. So Gojo is someone that is vital to the Sorcerers Association, and is basically untouchable. The scary fact is that he knows this, and despite the constant criticism he receives from people like the old man principal, he doesn't change anything about his behavior. In fact, he's even rowdier when in the presence of people like the old man. So we know Gojo is insanely powerful and has no respect towards any of his elders, but what we don't know about him is what he desires. In the anime, he has said that if he wanted to, he could have killed all of the higher up Jujutsu sorcerers and staged an uprising, which is scary to say the least. The key word there is if he wanted to. That isn't the first time he's said things like that before regarding the threatening of the higher ups' lives. If you watch the show, you would know that Gojo is certainly hiding something, but even more than that, I know that Gojo is secretly playing something sinister, and it all starts with the mass murder of the Jujutsu sorcerer higher ups. Gojo's bandana that covers his eyes is a metaphor for Gojo's plans, and how concealed they are to everyone, including the audience. We praise and laud Gojo for being this incredibly strong and likable character, all the more unaware of his devilish plan. You're probably now wondering, what is this plan, and is it evil enough to make me hate those soft, delectable lips of his? Well, I'm about to explain. I want to state though that I have not read the manga at all, and everything I'm about to say is from my thoughts and conclusions I acquired from watching the show. Okay, here we go. So, we know Gojo's plan consists of murdering the higher ups, but if we delve into the why of this, we can come to a reasonable and sensible conclusion. Gojo engaging in this act may have to do with him wanting to delete the old ways and handlings of the older generation regarding their stances on curses and Jutsu ideology. And this would also be backed up by Gojo's anger with the higher ups, wanting to dispose of Itadori after he had eaten Sukuna's finger. If we continue with that line of thinking, then it would result in Gojo becoming the new leader and controlling a whole new generation of Jujutsu sorcerers to deal with curses and other sorcerer matters. This pathway does make sense logically and has some relevant backing from what we've seen from Gojo in the anime so far. But would his students and others like them follow Gojo after he basically commits genocide? I'd have a hard time believing Itadori and his friends would even be able to see Gojo the same anymore, and in the worst case scenario, may even consider him as a lunatic and resolve together to take him down. Although he commits the ultimate sin from the perspective of Gojo, he's only doing what is needed to help grow and cultivate the future generation of Jujutsu sorcerers. He sees what his actions will lead to in the future, and undertakes the act of killing to further his goal. The only problem with that is, Gojo fails to understand the impact of his actions, and the effect they would have on the younger generation in the present. I believe Gojo is someone who is a ticking time bomb waiting to go off, albeit an unusually attractive bomb, but it will only take one inconsistency in Gojo's master plan to set him off. After Gojo sees how the other sorcerers and his students react to his actions, I'm willing to bet he becomes unhinged. He would evolve into a state of madness, and instead of using his overwhelming power for the future of his students, as he had originally intended, he would ironically be facing off against them, and would be their most devastating opponent to date. I think it would make a lot of sense if the author of Jujutsu Kaisen decides to go towards this route, as it would create such an overwhelming amount of indecision for us, the audience, either see Gojo's plan as a necessary occurrence for the future, or a diabolical and ultimately unforgiving action. It would create such a rift between fans, and will lead to a lot of debates and back and forth on his character development. Not only would it be good for the viewers, but it would be a huge impact on Yuji Itadori and the other sorcerers. They would be forced to go against their teacher, a leading figure in their lives, and result in them having to grow up faster than necessary, thereby bolstering and adding an extra layer of development towards their own characters. Having to face off against Gojo would be the ultimate test for Itadori. It would be interesting to see how Itadori manages to balance his feelings of rage and conversely the confliction he feels towards Gojo. Behind Gojo's deceiving smile and whimsical nature lies a monster waiting to be unleashed to the world. And I can't wait to see if Jujutsu Kaisen will play out like I hope it does. A twist in the plot of this nature is something I feel might be needed later down the line, because the first season of JJK, although it was close to a masterpiece, had me wanting to see more of Gojo's intentions and desires to be shown more to get a better understanding of him. Anyway, I hope you were able to see my point of view throughout the video and were able to at least visualize this kind of development. Thanks for watching.